For this module, we need to use a Linux virtual machine. We're not actually going to install Linux onto our computer. We're going to use a virtual machine instead to run Linux. To do this, we're going to need two components. One is a hypervisor, and a hypervisor is software that runs a virtual machine. The other is the virtual machine disk, the Linux virtual machine disk that we need to run. In this case, it's the Linux Mint 17.3 Lab virtual machine. And you can download this from GCU Learn by going to the Systems Programming module, then going to Reading and Links, and it will take you to this page here. The second link, Linux Mint 17.3 Lab VM, is the virtual machine disk that we need to download. Now the file download is a 7-zip file, so you will need to use 7-zip to extract the virtual machine disk. Once you've done that, the next step is to download and install a hypervisor. Now, you have two options here. The first is to use VirtualBox. And VirtualBox is available for Mac, for Linux, and for Windows. The latest version is 6.0. If you're using a Mac, you must use VirtualBox. However, if you're using a Linux or a Windows system, you can choose to use VMware Workstation Player instead. So if I go to Google and search for VMware Workstation Player, the first link says download VMware Workstation Player. And towards the bottom of this page, you'll have options for Windows and for Linux. So download and install the hypervisor of your choice, whether that's VMware Workstation Player or VirtualBox. Download and extract the virtual machine disk. Once you've done all of that, it's time to start the hypervisor. So I'm going to switch now to a different screen, and I'm going to fire up VMware Player. So here is the option screen for VMware Workstation 15 Player. In this instance, I'm going to open a virtual machine. We're going to open the virtual machine that we downloaded and extracted from GCU Learn. So you have a file dialog box where we can just choose, locate and choose the virtual machine. And in this case, because I'm using VMware, I'm giving the option for a VMX file, clone of Linux Mint 17.3, some more letters and numbers followed by .vmx. So I'll double click on this. And here is my virtual machine. Now its current state is powered off, so I need to turn it on if I want to use it. Let's click on the power on button. You may find that you get some messages, which for now we can safely ignore. And eventually, we're taken to a login screen for our Linux operating system. Now, the user account that we need to choose is the student user account. The password for this is student. I'm going to click on OK. And here is my Linux virtual machine running. One point to clarify is that the operating system running in the virtual machine is often called the guest operating system. So in this case, we have a Linux guest operating system running in the virtual machine. The host operating system is the operating system running on your computer. And for most of you, that will be Windows, but for some of you, it will be Mac as well, and possibly even Linux.